Unsung Hero. It concludes with the choir singing My Country 'Tis of Thee with some trumpet alvados going on. And I encourage you again to sing along if you so choose to. God bless America. And song for you.
ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand for the presentation of our colors and honors to our nation, the Wentworth Military Academy Color Guard and the Lexington High School Choir.
Color Guard, John. All words, march. Up, will, march. Forward, march. Here.
Sergeant, post color.
Order, orders. Aye, ready. On left, march.
Please be seated. A wall that heals. Would also like to welcome you to historic Lexington and Wentworth Military Academy, celebrating the 125th anniversary. We're very honored this morning to participate together in honoring the veterans of this great country. This is Veterans Day. I would like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Tim Croson and the Lexington High School Choir for their music this morning. Please stand and take a bow, please. There they are. These young folks will be performing at Carnegie Hall in New York City in January. That deserves another round of applause. Let me authorities this morning, sitting behind me on the platform. To my far left, front row, please stand if you wouldn't mind as you're introduced. Colonel Donald Ballard, Medal of Honor recipient. Colonel Roger Donellan, Medal of Honor recipient. Colonel Chris Miller, Base Commander, Whiteman Air Force Base. General Kevin Burns, Commanding General U.S. Army Training and Doctrine Command. The distinguished Representative Ike Skelton, U.S. Representative from the 4th District. Major General John H. Little, Superintendent and President of Wentworth Military Academy. Mr. Dale Solonico, member of the Board of Trustees, Wentworth Military Academy. Mr. J.B. Meyer, member of the Board of Trustees, Wentworth Military Academy. Lieutenant John Edwards, member of the Board of Trustees, Wentworth Military Academy. Major Steve Sellers, member of the Board of Trustees, Wentworth Military Academy. And Representative D.J. Davis, Missouri State Representative, 122nd District. In the second row, Mr. Jim Gertner served in Vietnam with Company C, 1st Battalion, 12th Regiment, and his regiment was depicted in the movie We Were Soldiers. Mr. Larry Stevenson served in Vietnam with Company D, 1st Battalion, 7th Cavalry. His regiment was depicted in the movie We Were Soldiers. These are heroes. Lieutenant Colonel Michael Dasons, Professor of Military Science at Wentworth. Mr. Elton Allowell, representing the National Headquarters for the Veterans of Foreign Wars. Major Todd Kitchen, Director of Admissions, Wentworth. Representative Joe Hall, Missouri State Representative, 26th District. Mayor Tom Hayes, Mayor of the City of Lexington, Missouri. Mayor William Colas, Mayor of City Higginsville, Missouri. Mr. Jim Strutman, Lafayette County Commissioner. Mr. Gil Rector, Lafayette County Commissioner. And Mr. Harlan Miser, Lafayette County Commissioner. At this time, I would like to introduce Major Todd Kitchen, who will offer our invocation.
Good morning. Please join me in a word of prayer. Almighty God, we are thankful, first of all, for this beautiful day that you have given us, this time to come together and to celebrate veterans who have sacrificed and committed themselves to the defense of our country. And we're reminded in your scripture where you say, what greater love has a man than to lay down his life for a friend. Almighty God, you have given us this great land as our heritage. And we humbly pray that we may always remember your generosity and that we would faithfully do your will. Bless our land with honest industry, truthful education, and an honorable way of life. Defend our liberties and strengthen the resolve of the people who have come throughout the world to make America their home. Always lead us, God, to choose the harder right instead of the easier wrong. Help us to appreciate the opportunities that are ours as we struggle to bring harmony to an unsettled world. Father, may we balance our concern for justice with a willingness to display mercy, and may our concern for security always be tempered with a willingness to take risk, which will produce worthwhile change for the good of all people throughout the world. Oh Lord, we pray for your guidance as we work together for the best interest of our communities. our nation, and our world, and the ultimate goal of peace. When times are prosperous, let our hearts be thankful, and in troubled times, may our deepest trust be in you. Amen.
If you would, please make note of the bios of Congressman Skelton, General Burns, Major General Little. They're in the program. And at this time, I would like to introduce Major General John H. Little, Superintendent President of Wentworth Military Academy.
Good morning, Congressman Skelton, General Burns, Colonel Donlin, Colonel Ballard, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the 125th Corps cadets, and especially all of our veterans here today. I want to make a special note of all of the high school and grade school young people that are here today. This does my heart proud to see you participate in this special ceremony. It's a pleasure to welcome all of you here this morning to honor America's veterans. This is a very special Veterans Day, as Max said just a few minutes ago, because it's the 50th anniversary of the establishment of this unique together to plan this event. Realizing that a Wentworth graduate was the first U.S. service member to die in Vietnam, they decided to attempt to get the traveling Vietnam Wall here as the centerpiece for this ceremony. They were successful, and we've worked very hard to organize this series of events that will continue throughout the weekend. The wall, even though it represents those who made the ultimate sacrifice in Vietnam, serves as a fitting reminder of the sacrifices of all of our veterans of all of our wars. It is special to us here at Wentworth, not just because the name of Major Dale Weiss appears as the first name on the first line of panel 1 East, but also because there are 11 other names of Wentworth cadets and faculty on that wall. Some of those names have special significance to many of us. One of those is Major Bill Adams, who was awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. His name on the wall has special significance because he was a classmate of mine here at Wentworth. Additionally, the officer who was my mentor here at Wentworth and who swore me in to be commissioned in the United States Army in 1963, the Assistant PMS, Major Donald G. Logan's name is also on that wall. He died just 4 months after swearing me in. Most of us have similar memories of certain individuals whose names are on that wall. And that's why it is so special, because it honors in a very personal way those who gave their lives. This year, Wentworth added another name to the nation's honor roll of those who have given their lives in the defense of freedom. Army Sergeant and former Marine Kyle Seitzinger, class of '93, was killed in action in Afghanistan. We honor him here today, and all those who have served and are presently serving in operations Enduring Freedom and Iraqi Freedom. Elizabeth Akers Allen wrote upon the return of the New York 7th Regiment in 1865 the following: "Uncover your head and hold your breath. This boon not every lifetime hath. To look on men who have walked with death and have not been afraid." That seems apropos here today. However, I suspect that most of those that we honor were somewhat afraid. But they did their job anyway, and for that, we are especially proud and thankful. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce a gentleman who, as they say, needs no introduction. We're proud to say that he is a former cadet at Wentworth Military Academy, and that he is the most recent inductee into the Wentworth Athletic Hall of Fame. He is a native of Lexington and has been a member of the U.S. House of Representatives since 1977. Sir, you realize that means that you and I had our first tours in Washington the same year. The difference is I escaped, And he's been going back ever since, doing the nation's business and representing the Missouri 4th District. He is now the senior Democrat on the House Armed Services Committee, and as such, has the deepest respect of soldiers, Marines, sailors, and airmen of our armed services. Ladies and gentlemen, Congressman Ike Skelton.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Corps of Cadets, I'm so proud to be with you today to participate on this special and solemn occasion. November the 11th, we give thanks to those who serve today, those who have served in the past. Give thanks to the families whose support made possible that service. We honor and remember those who lost their lives to preserve our freedoms, what we enjoy as Americans. This is a special, solemn occasion for me. My hometown, my alma mater, Wentworth, the oldest of 3 boys who attended here. Susan and I are the parents of 3 sons who attended here. Looking out in the audience, seeing friends, some of whom were my boyhood heroes. This is truly a special day for us to say thank you to the veterans of yesteryear and those who will be veterans tomorrow. For as we speak, the conflict continues in Fallujah, elsewhere in Iraq and Afghanistan. And I must tell you that the young men and young women of the military today are the finest ever. You should be immensely proud of them. Yesterday, at Fort Leonard Wood, I had the privilege of speaking and participating in a solemn but glorious occasion. We cut the ribbon on a new road, more formerly known as the West Gate Road, a new entrance to Fort Leonard Wood so that the many people who live and work there can make it to their jobs and to the training area all the more easily. The road was named for a Lexington student, a graduate of Wentworth Military Academy Junior College. West Point graduate. His name was Hector Pola, son of immigrant parents. His nephew, John Jorsa, his lovely wife, Jane, their 2 children were there as well. Hector Pola graduated from Wentworth. A year later, he was appointed to West Point, graduated June the 1st, 1941. Went to infantry basic training for officers at Fort Benning, then went to his first duty assignment in the Philippine Islands. He was there just a few weeks when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, and the following day landed their forces in the Lingayen Gulf of the Philippines. Hector Pola helped defend the Bataan Peninsula. On February the 9th, he was so gallant in action, he was awarded the Silver Star. Later, as you know, when the American forces were forced to surrender in April of 1942, he and others were captured Cupola survived the Bataan Death March. Later was on a ship in December, which was bombed by the American forces, which did not carry a prisoner of war flag on it. He survived that, was recaptured, placed on another ship in January 1945. That same occurrence happened, and Cupola died of wounds as a result of that. So we named a road for him yesterday. It's important that young people of today know of the courage, the sacrifice, the dedication of their predecessors, of those who sit here, those who did not return from the conflict. I had 3 of my buddies that did not come back from the Korean War. Jim Sparks, classmate of mine here at Wentworth, was one of them, and others from the Vietnam War and other conflicts. That's why Veterans Day is so important to all of us, to remember and give thanks. Armistice Day, November the 11th, 1941. I was in the 5th grade. I was 9 years of age. My father, as many of you will know, remember him. He was probably the most outstanding orator in Lafayette County. And he was asked to speak at the Odessa High School on Armistice Day. Spoke about this, and I had that pleasure today. I introduce to you my friend, General Kevin Burns. General Burns is the Commanding General of the United States Training and Doctrine Command at Fort Monroe, Virginia. He's in charge of all of the training and all of the ROTC all the way through, whether you are in the Army or whether you are becoming a general. He is in charge of that. So I'm thrilled to welcome him to my hometown and my alma mater. General Burns was commissioned as second lieutenant through the Officer Candidate School. His bachelor's degree in economics from Park College, master's degree from Webster University. Throughout his career, he has held a number of important assignments, including Commanding General of the 1st Cavalry Division in Fort Hood, Commanding General of the Multinational Division in Tuzla in Bosnia, Director of Force Programs in the Office of the Deputy Chief of Staff for Operations in Washington, D.C. His overseas assignments include Vietnam, Germany, and Bosnia. He's a graduate of the Commanding General Staff College and our War College, recipient of many awards and many decorations. He is a soldier's soldier, a particularly outstanding friend. I'm thrilled to present General Kevin Burns to you, friend of Wentworth, General Burns.
Despite this terrific Missouri weather, I know it's quite uncommon out here. I spent a little time out here myself going to Park College in North Kansas City. It's terrific to come back to Missouri. Congressman Missiskelly, sir, thanks for everything you do. This is our #1 advocate for men and women in uniform and their families. General Little, thank you very much for the invitation. To the students here at Wentworth Military Academy, I'm proud to be among you. And to the young men and women from local schools, I'm glad you're here today to gain an understanding of how important this day is to this country. Freedom is not free. And we have endured as a nation for over 228 years on the backs of men and women in uniform. We owe them very much. Not because I wear the uniform, because the history of this great nation is about service and sacrifice. And over the last 228 years, men and women have put it on the line for this nation. They've served and they've sacrificed so that we and our kids can enjoy the liberties that we all too often take for granted. In time of peace, the citizens of this country don't turn out in large numbers on Memorial Day and on Veterans Day. It takes war for us to understand what it's all about. It takes the loss of a loved one or a friend to understand how deadly serious it is, this business of fighting to sustain our freedoms and taking care of friends in need. So it's important that we gather on a day like Veterans Day to remember, never forget, those who've gone before us and those who are in harm's way now and those preparing to go into harm's way. Because living in America is not easy. Freedom is not free. And it's the brave men and women who secure this liberty for us. And we can't forget them. It's great to have the traveling wall here to commemorate Vietnam, our Vietnam losses. And in this town of Lexington, it's hallowed ground. Blood was shed here during the American Civil War. This is the oldest military school west of the Mississippi. I'm proud to be here celebrating its 125th anniversary. Through all the years, the goals here for the graduates of Wentworth have remained the same: to achieve the honorable in everything that they do. The contribution of the graduates coming out of Wentworth Military Academy are significant. Some distinguished members have graduated here as well. 2 Medal of Honor recipients, 17 general or flag officers, and a very senior member of our Congress. But today is about veterans. And Veterans Day commemorates really the end of World War I. The Great War, the war to end all wars. We like to believe that after every conflict. It ended on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. 3 years later, on November 11th, 1921, the remains of an unknown soldier who was killed in combat, they were solemnly delivered to Arlington National Cemetery overlooking our nation's capital. Horses drew his flag-draped coffin on the simple carriage that once bore the body of President Abraham Lincoln. That fallen soldier, whose name remains only known to God, was killed while fighting for his country in the trenches of Western Europe. And on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, his soldiers in arms laid him to rest on his home soil. The tomb of the unknown soldier at Arlington serves as a reminder to all Americans that freedom is not free.
On behalf of all of us here in Lexington and in Wentworth, we would like to give you a small token of our appreciation for you coming out, braving the weather, and coming to visit us here today and giving us this inspirational speech. Thank you very much for being a part of it. We appreciate it. And Congressman Skelton, likewise, we would like to honor you for your participation and your assistance to us in making this a very special day and a very special occasion for all of us.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, Congressman Skelton, General Burns, Major General Little will jointly place a wreath in memory of all our fallen soldiers. And ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand? After following the ceremony, the wreath will be placed outside the wall. This morning we have several veterans who've joined us. We'd like to recognize all of them. We'd ask that you stand, please, and be recognized by the war in which you served. The veterans that served in World War II, please stand. And they deserve a big round of applause. Will the veterans that served in the Korean War please stand? Will the veterans who served in the Vietnam War please stand? Will the veterans that served during the Cold War please stand? Will the veterans that served during Desert Storm please stand? Will the veterans that served in the peacekeeping operations from the end of the Cold War to the present please stand? Will the veterans that served in Operation Enduring Freedom and Iraqi Freedom please stand? We would like to thank each and every one of you for your dedication and service to our country and our freedom, and they all deserve another big round of applause. It encompassed several meetings over the past 3 years. The committee has jointly spent many hours in planning and coordination for the event. The committee includes many people throughout the community coming together for this common purpose, and at this time, we'd like to take a few moments to recognize the committee that's made this event a reality. And as I read the names, you'll see that they serve in various capacities throughout the community. So would you please stand when your name is read and remain standing as we introduce the entire team. And if you wouldn't mind, please hold your applause until the entire committee has been introduced. Colonel Michael Lehrman, Executive Vice President and Chief of Staff at Wentworth. Captain Mark Molyneux, Director of Public Affairs at Wentworth. Len Sedker, Risk and Insurance Management Specialist with the IMA Corporation of Kansas. Lieutenant Colonel Rick Cottrell, Principal at Wentworth. Mr. Jim Judd, Superintendent of the Lexington Army School District. Cheryl Couch Thomas, Librarian at William Jewell College in Liberty. Tom Butler, Special Projects Manager at the Oak Grove Truck Stop. Pamela Johnson, Director of Marketing and Public Relations with the Lafayette Regional Hospital. Amy Lehrman, Publication and Website Programmer at Wentworth. Lieutenant Colonel Michael Burr, Jr., ROTC Senior Army Instructor here at Wentworth. Major Todd Kitchen, Director of Admissions at Wentworth. Major Sam Ratcliffe, member of the faculty at Wentworth and a highly decorated Vietnam Special Forces veteran. Lieutenant Colonel Stan Shermantine, City of Lexington Liaison. Chief Don Rector, Chief of Police of Lexington. Chief Kirk Smith, Fire Chief of Lexington. Captain, U.S. Navy, Bill Crispin, Commandant of Cadets of Wentworth. Mike Heffernan, Facilities Manager at Wentworth. Byron Nicodemus, Lexington Tourism. Lieutenant Colonel Jim Ahrens, Instructor at Wentworth. Kenny Nadler, former owner of Walker Nadler Fuller Funeral Home. Mayor Tom Hayes, Mayor of the City of Lexington. Lee Molyneux, volunteer. Christy Butler, Development Secretary at Wentworth. Lieutenant Commander, U.S. Navy, Sue Greiger, Director of the Wentworth Infirmary. Randy Small, Director of Transportation. Cindy Howard, Junior College Financial Aid Office at Wentworth. and Wentworth Alumni Honor Guard Association members. Please join me in a round of applause for this entire committee. You can applaud, that's done a lot of work. He put many hours in the effort to bring this event together. This morning, we'd like to thank him for his dedication and service to honor our veterans. This has been a tremendous undertaking, and he's done an excellent job in orchestrating the event. Major General Little presents Mark with a plaque recognizing his efforts. Let's join in a round of applause for Mark. We've had... Oh.
For your enthusiasm and great job.
I'd like to repeat a poem that Representative Skelton did a few minutes ago. I work in radio, and back at the station, somebody was asking what one of the guys was going to do for Veterans Day. He said he was going to read a poem in Flanders Fields, which means a lot to a lot of people, including me, and I'm sure you. But the poem is, in Flanders Fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row and row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely singing fly. Scarce heard amid the guns below, we are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw, the torch be yours to hold it high. If you bring faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Fields. We have had the opportunity this morning to be able to say thanks to the many veterans who have served this country and protected our freedom. We'd like to thank each of you for your attendance, your attention, and remind you at the back of the program are a listing of the many events that's going to be held during the next few days. Still a lot of things to go. You're invited to attend any of them you can. The wall, of course, the traveling wall, which is they brought here is something to see. And ladies and gentlemen, this concludes this morning's ceremony. I would ask you to please stand as the Wentworth Military Academy Color Guard retires the colors.